So I'm super excited because today we're going to be learning what it means to start and grow a business, a successful business. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about 15 years experience of what the things I've learned in my business journey. I've run businesses, I've failed in some, I've grown in some. Some have been successful, some have shut down. But one of the things I've noticed is that many people want to run businesses, but they don't know how, where to start from, what businesses to do, how to run it, how to scale it. And that's what I'm going to be distilling to all of us here in this masterclass. So I welcome you all to How to Start and Grow a Business Masterclass. Okay. So now when you look at it, this framework tells you that what you need to start your business off the ground, right? So this framework is a framework because you're going to be coming back to it over and over again to get your business off the ground. And not just start a business, but also make money from your business. The real essence of starting a business is so that you can make money off the business. So why are you here? Why are you here? That's a very big question, and we must learn to answer those questions. Why are you here? I'm sure you're here because you want to have a business that will give you financial freedom, will give you time freedom, right? And will give you all the time in the world so that it allows you to be your own boss and bring you those amazing ideas and bring them to life. That's why you're here. And then most importantly, to follow your passion, right? Because the essence of starting businesses is because you want to follow your passion. You don't want to get stuck running the business and not work. Because what happens is that most people get stuck in the business, working for the business. So instead of becoming an entrepreneur, you are an employee in your own business. And this is what we must learn to avoid. Okay, so if you're like me, you will ask a lot of questions. Is my business idea the right one? Because that's what we must answer. Because you don't want to exert energy in the wrong business. If the business doesn't serve the purpose of making you money, giving you time freedom, giving you location freedom, giving you the amazing ideas that you have and bringing them to life and helping you to follow your passion, then this question must be asked. Is my new business idea the right one? The next one is, am I focusing on the right areas of my business? Next one, is my business model scalable? Now, I've seen people do businesses that are not scalable. What does it mean about being scalable? Businesses that are scalable are businesses that can outlive you. You can be somewhere and here the business is working. It can go from one location to another because you have a business that is scalable. If the business is all around you, all about you, then it's not scalable. And these are things that we must ask if you are running a business. And the next one is that, how can I regularly attract customers and retain them? These are questions that we must ask. Next one, am I making the right decisions in growing my business? If you're like me, how do I build a business that doesn't crumble under its weight? And this one is very important. How am I going to pay my bills at the end of the month? Because if you leave your 9-to-5 job and you start a business, you must pay bills. How do you pay bills? These are questions that you must find ways to answer. And one of the biggest questions that I had to answer when I started my business is this question. What if I fail? What is failure? Many of us have a wrong interpretation of what failure is. We think failure is a setback. To a large extent, failure is a feedback. Failure is just a feedback that you're not doing things right and you need to change your strategy. The plan and the goalpost is the same, but the strategy must be changed or must be improved upon. So that's what I see failures. And in your business planning, you must plan a bit of failure into it. Because there's no perfect plan. Failure comes. I did a business that failed woefully. In fact, in the business, I was the only customer. I built the business around the things I thought people needed. I was the only customer. I was the only case study. And then the business failed woefully. And this question is what gets people scared. What makes people not to even venture out to starting the business that they want to start? What if I fail? And the question is also right. Because 20% of businesses fail in their first year. 20% fail. So that question you asked is a very good question, right? What if I fail? Because 20% fail in their first year, 50% fail in their first 5 years, and then most fail within 10 years. So if you don't want to be just a statistics that I tried this business and it failed, then you must learn and understand how to start a business, not just because you want to hustle, but how to start it the right way and how to grow it the right way and how to think in terms of systems. Okay. Now, 97% of business owners they go about running their businesses the wrong way. It therefore means that only 3% do it the right way. Only 3% dare to make millions of dollars. Only 3% survive and are scalable. So instead of us being the statistics, we need to find a way to become one of the 3%. In my presentation a few days ago, I said that in every sector, in every industry, there's always the 1%, the 10%, the 30%, and the 70%. The 1% always controls 49% of the wealth in that sector and in that industry. 1%. 1% and the 10% control 85% of the wealth in that space and in that industry. Now, with the 1% and the 10% and the 30% control 97% of the wealth in that industry. So that leaves you to only 3% of the wealth that will be left for 70% of people. So when you're starting your business, you must have the right framework to say to yourself that I don't want to be the 70%. I don't want to be the 30%. I'd rather be the 1% or the 10%. So when people ask questions that, oh, there's no money in business, there's no money in this sector, it's because you are looking at the wrong place. You're looking at the wrong percentage. When there was Forex issues in the country, people still made a lot of money. Right? So the 1% always controls how many percent? 49% of the wealth in that sector, in that space, in that industry. The 1% and the 10% controls how many percent? 85. 1%, 10%, 30% controls 97. So 3% people are struggling. So you don't want to be just statistics while running your business, whatever business idea you have. You don't want to be statistics. Okay. So let me say this clearly, that running a successful business in your zone of genius is completely different from being awesome in your expertise. Oh, I'm good at this. Doesn't necessarily mean you can run a business in that space. Oh, I'm good in photography. I'm good in video editing. I'm good in IT. Doesn't necessarily mean you would succeed in that space, because the skill set required to running a business and the skill set required to doing well in that space, they are totally different. Totally different. Okay. So running a successful business is completely different from your expertise. I say that again because of emphasis. And the problem is that it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's the educational system. Our educational system has trained us to be good employees. You go through school, they just tell you exactly what to do, what to become, and then just garbage in, garbage out, just obey, clock in and clock out. So it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And I know that it's not easy running a business, and that's why this proven method, if you stick to it and you follow this framework I'm going to share today, will drastically change the way you handle business, the way you think around what business is, the way you structure your business. Okay, so this is for you if you have an amazing new business idea. It's for you if you are at the early stage of your business journey. Okay, this class is for you if your business is not getting off the ground as expected. This class is also for you if you want to structure and grow your business with the right foundations. It's also for you if you want to get ahead of the game. And if you want to lay down a business plan that is rock solid, this is for you. And if you want to have confidence in the idea that your business would work, this class is also for you. Now, this is not for you If you're a passive dreamer, just wishing that things would work out and not willing to put in the work, it's also not for you if you're resistant to change. Because what we're going to talk about will cost a bit of change. There should be a shift, a paradigm shift, an approach shift in the way you structure and you do business. So it's not for you. If you're looking for overnight quick fixes and miracle money, then it's not for you. Okay. So the question to you is that, do you want to build your business like the successful 3%? Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay, then we're in the right class and I have the right people here. So this is how. Now, let me give you a bit about my background. I started business 15 years ago. And I've done so a few businesses that have grown. We've worked with some multinationals and all of those. And I've done businesses that have failed. And my best lessons in life are from the lessons of failure. Because when somebody tells you their success stories, they inspire you. But when they tell you their failures, they impact upon you. So which one would you prefer? Inspiration or impactation? Impactations, because failures impact. So I failed in business. In fact, we started a business. We had done partnerships with several companies in China, produced the prototype, and then we brought the product to Nigeria. I was the only customer. The business failed awfully. So, and I don't want that for you. Okay, so I've learned many lessons the hard way. When to do things, how to do them, and how not to do them. Okay, but more importantly, what not to do. So I'll be sharing to you what not to do, because these are more important than knowing what to do. Okay. So let me go strictly to what you're going to learn today. Now, running a business, we must get the mindset that it is a marathon, not a sprint, right? It's not just a walk in the park that I want to run a successful business, then voila. Or you have a magic wand that you just, you throw and everything works out. It takes hard work. It takes focus. And a lot of gurus will tell you that get this course and in 3 days or 30 days, you start your business to grow. All those things are false. But are they complete lies? They may not be complete lies, because everybody starts business from different states. Somebody may start a business and already has all this foundation, and he buys the course, and in 30 days he gets the results. Somebody else is starting from the ground, doesn't have any foundation of how business work, how finances work. That result can never come in 30 days. Okay? So it's a marathon, and we must be in for the long run. We must play for the long run. And it's like climbing a mountain. And when you're climbing the mountain, you must have a plan, right? You must prepare. Because you're climbing the mountain, you must prepare, you must plan. Now, I'm going to talk about what not to do. This is very, very crucial and important. What not to do when starting a successful business? What not to do? Now, the majority of people do this. See what they do. They identify their potentials. Now, I'm a leadership coach and I talk about potentials. I talk about it a lot, that identify your potentials, find your passion. Yes, I agree. It's good to know who you are. It's good to understand what you are made up of, what you're good at. But when you're running a business, this is what most majority people do. They identify their potentials. Then they figure out a product or service they can offer. And then they hope that people will buy their product and services. Now, hope is not a strategy. Hope is what? It's not a strategy. Now, look at what they did. Look at the singular future commonality among the strategy. Number one is that they identify it's about them. Then they figure out a product that they can offer. They can offer about them. And then they hope their products will be bought. Everything's about them. And then they go to meet gurus and business coaches that will tell them that, find what you are good at doing, then look for top X business ideas in that space, then do social media ads, and people will buy from you. This doesn't work. And the truth is that you are better than this. This doesn't work. So this is what you should do. And this is very important. Running a business itself shouldn't be about you. Can I ask you this question? Is Dangote passionate about cement? Somebody just wake up and say, I'm passionate about creating cement or doing sugar. What it did was to check the market size of that space, right? Looked for what people needed, not what I think they should need. And then found a way to plug himself into it. So the business is not about you. But however, the business will serve you in the long term and in the short term. That is when it's about you, when it serves you. But when it comes to the holistic idea of a business, it's always about the customer. It's always about the customer. This is very, very crucial. It should be about who? The customer. Okay. So, let me ask you, what's your vision? What's your vision? You should write it down. What's your vision for your business? And then, what is your destination and why are you doing the business? Why? What's your vision? You must have a vision. But remember, it is about, the business is about the customer. It is to serve the need of the market. Okay. This is where people get it wrong. It's not about you. Now, would you say that potential and passion are not important? They are important. They play a huge role. Because it will help you when troubles come, when you're struggling through the process. It keeps you grounded. It helps you to keep pushing on. That's where passion is needed. Okay. Now, I want to talk about mindset because I see that many people struggle with mindset. The mindset of an entrepreneur. What is the mindset of an entrepreneur? This is very, very important. Now, can I say that the mindset of someone that runs a 9-to-5 and the mindset of someone that runs a business, they are totally different? I'm sure you agree, right? That's very different. Because the person that runs a 9-to-5 is waiting for paycheck at the end of the month. The one that runs a business is expecting to pay salaries, right? He's expecting to pay salaries at the end of the month. So they are totally different. Okay. So what should be the right mindset? And I want to say this, that sometimes we are the biggest limiting factor in growing our business. And in leadership, we always say that, talking about the law of the lead or leadership, you can never grow beyond your lead of leadership. The worst person to lead is you. So if you have the wrong mindset and you won't grow your business, assuming your mindset is at a scale of 10, number 10, right? Your business can never grow beyond that 10. Not possible. Same with leadership. It can never rise beyond that level of 10. So the mindset plays a huge role. So what should be the mindset? Number one is imposter syndrome, self-confidence. This is what many people feel. They feel they are not better. Can I do this business self? Who will patronize me? The next mindset they have is the fear of perfectionism. And this is a limiting factor and a gap in growth. You can never have the whole idea sitting down without taking the right step. It's when you take step one that you begin to see clearly what the next idea should be like. Most of us don't take steps. That's where the problem is. Okay? So waiting for perfect, I want the perfect idea. I'll tell you something when you're developing your products. We'll get to that part. You'll discover that the first iPhone that was created wasn't the iPhone that we celebrate today. It got better. In fact, the first one, which is called the minimum viable product, is the MVP. It's not always best. So if you're waiting for the perfect product or to start perfect business, you may not start. So avoid this trap of perfectionism. Value proposition, oh, what I have is not valuable enough for people to buy. Avoid this trap. And then the mindset about money. Who will pay me for this? Many of us have this wrong mindset around money, and we must restructure that mindset. And these other mindsets, controlling and delegating. I struggle with control and delegating when I started business. I wanted to be there. Now, when you came in, you asked me some questions, right? Now, I had to free myself from control and delegating. Because one person is too small a number for greatness. If you want to achieve anything significant in the business space, then you must let go of control and start delegating, and delegating rightly. Strategic thinking, mindsets, and discipline and patience. These are the traps and the mindset that you must avoid. Now, when you look at the mindset of an entrepreneur or business person, what should the mindset be like? And what's your role? Number one role is that your role is to strategize and plan. So as a business owner starting a business, yours is to sit down, strategize, and plan. Yours is to sit down and plan. That's your role. Yours is to sit down and plan. Next role, promote and sell. Sit down, plan, and then promote and sell. If you are just starting out, your only major role is to sell. You have no business in business if you hate to sell. You are the one that will sell you. You must sell. This is your role. Promote and sell. Next one is to communicate and manage. Manage stakeholders, manage all your distributors, all the people that bring their contributions to the solution you're providing. Next one is cash flow and finance. These are your roles. Next, you need to build. You need to build products, build solutions for your clients. And you must keep building solutions and products because the tastes and the need of the clients keeps changing. And it's, as it changes, you must always upgrade to meet up their needs because if not, they'll go elsewhere. So you must keep building. And then, very importantly, you must self-develop. Now, there's this quote I love so much. And one of my favorite mentors says it always. That the person you refuse to grow or the you that you refuse to grow can come and sabotage the business you're trying to build. So never allow you to sabotage the business you're trying to build. And that's where personal development plays a huge role. How are you developing yourself? You must be better than you were yesterday. Because the more good you become, the more better the business becomes. And then the more you're able to attract the right talent, because customers can see through you. They know whether you're bringing value. They know. So you must keep developing. These are your roles as a business person. Now, when you first start a business, you may wear all these hats. You may be the one doing cash flow, promoting, you start all this out. But it's very important you understand that. Now, let's talk about what problem you're trying to solve. When it comes to the client, what problem are you trying to solve? Now, see where the people make mistake. Number one, people solve problems that are not real. Oh, I have a business idea. I think everybody needs it. What thing they don't really need it? Because the people will not pay you for what they don't need. Are you solving a real problem? Number one, are you solving a problem that people need? And are you solving a problem that makes business sense? So 3 things. You must be solving a real problem. You must be solving a problem that people need. And then you must be solving a problem that makes business sense. Because that's when they will pay you. So there are people that solve real problems. People need it, but it doesn't make business sense. So you end up wasting energy in that space. Okay. So make sure you're solving a real problem. And this is what you need to do. What does the customer want? Identify it. So it's not about your passion now, right? It's not about your potential. It's about what the customer wants. Next, what do you do well? What do you do well? And then what are your competitors doing well? Now, I'll tell you why this is very important. This is where you need to play. I'll show you shortly. Number one, look at the intersection between what your customers want and what your competitors do well is not your area of strength. Because it's not your domain of influence. It's not your sphere of influence. What your customers want and what your competitors want is not your area of strength. Now, the intersection between what you do well and what your competitors do well is not your point. Because there's no need playing in that space. Now, the intersection between the 3 of them, what your customers want, what you do well, and what your competitors do well, the intersection between the 3 of them doesn't make any business sense. So what should you focus on? Focus on the intersection between what your customers want and what you do well. This is where you build. This is where you focus. This is where you build a product. This is where you focus. So what you need to do is to identify who your customers are in solving a problem. Remember, the business is not about you, right? It's about who? The customers. So how can you help them? Because you are helping them. You're solving a problem. It's when you solve a problem that people pay you for it. So how can you help them? How do you even know who the customers are? So number one, you need to know who they are. Their age, their gender, their occupation, their ethnicity, their education. You need to know who they are. Next, you need to know where they are. Where can I find these people? Where can I find these people? Next, why? Why? What are their values? Why would they patronize me? What are their personalities? What are their culture? What are their goals? What are their lifestyles? This will help you even when you're trying to target them, especially when you're advertising. It plays a long role. And the next one, how? What is their behavior? Do they have brand loyalty? How do they spend? In fact, there's an ad I placed on Facebook recently, and the ad was people that spend in the last 30 days on Facebook buying anything. Those are the people we're targeting. Yes, you need to know those that are buying. There are people that will click, oh, we like it. Oh, we like your products. Supporters. These supporters don't pay bills. So you must know how these people that need your products, how? Where do they hang out? Where can I reach out to them? Very, very important. Now, this is not as important, or it's not the same as picking an avatar. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. Picking an avatar is different from when you're trying to solve a problem and when you're trying to market to them. Picking an avatar is important for when you want to market to people, right? But when you're trying to create a problem, solve a problem, building your business, don't pick an avatar. I'll tell you why. And do not niche down yet. I'll tell you why in a bit. So, this is how it works. So, who is your customer? How can you help them and all of those, their behavior? Understanding this plays a huge role in you developing the products that they will buy. Because there's no use investing lots of time, lots of energy on something that doesn't make, number three things. Number one, doesn't solve a real problem. Doesn't make business sense. And does it what? Doesn't bring a solution. You must understand those three things. Okay. So when you want to create a solution, so this is your approach. What we just talked about is your approach of creating and understanding the problem you're trying to solve. Now, when you want to create a solution, look at what you must do. There's a difference between creating a solution that is a painkiller, and there's a difference between solving a solution that is a vitamin. This is it. A painkiller solution is a must-have. These customers need this based on the problems I have discovered, based on my analysis of the market, where they are, who they are, why they buy things. These are the problem solutions that they need. It must be a solution that is a must-have, not nice to have. Now, what not to do? This is what not to do. Most people will go around, find a solution or find a potential solution, and then look at the customer's pain point and create a potential solution, and then give the customer the solution. This is what most people do. Wrong. Wrong. This is what you must do. Listen to the customer, because you have done that exercise from the beginning. What are the customer pain points? And then, what are the customer benefits? So when you are talking to them, you are talking to them about the transformation they get. Not going to meet someone that, oh, I'm into this and this. No. What you should sell, or what you should prepare as a solution, is the transformation they get from using the product after you have identified their pain points. So your language to your customers it should not be like, buy this because I'm selling this. No. Buy this product because it does this and this for you. So you must identify there are benefits. This is how you create the solution. What are the benefits? Next one, then you create a potential solution. Remember I said potential, not the solution. Potential solution. Next, you now create a solution with optimized what? Benefits for them. Remember, we are thinking about the customer now, because they are the ones who are serving. Pain points linked to what? Their benefits, potential solutions, and then what? Solution with optimized benefits. And then you address that customer pain point with your solution. This is how you create solutions that work. So you have sat down and done your primary assignment, listening to the customer's pain point, addressing their benefits, speaking their language, and then creating a solution that speaks to those pain points. Make sense? So how do you validate your painkiller idea? Remember, there's a painkiller idea and there's a vitamin idea. So the question to you is, whatever business you're doing right now, is it a painkiller? Or is it nice to have? You know, vitamins, you just take vitamin C, vitamin D, just once in a while. But when you have malaria, you don't want to take. These are serious problems. So what should be your base case study, business case study? Now, is it feasible? Is this business feasible? Feasible means that I can be able to supply it. I can do it. So if your business, a product is 100,000 naira, for example. Can I produce that product for 100,000 naira? If yes, then it is what? Feasible. But that's not just the only question you must ask. The next question you must ask is it viable? Can I keep producing that product at 100,000 naira? Because if I produce it at 100,000 naira, it's feasible, and I sell it less than 100,000 naira, does it become viable? No. Is it viable? Can I keep producing that report or that product, those products? Next one, is it profitable? Is it profitable? The reason why we're doing this masterclass is so that we don't spend our energy doing the wrong things. Just thinking that, oh, I am passionate about this and it doesn't pay bills, and you're wondering why you're going around circles. Right? Next question you must ask, is it scalable? Can this outgrow me? Grow beyond me? Grow beyond my location? Can I export it elsewhere? Build systems around it? Can I? And then, is it the best option for my customer and my business right now? These are the 5 questions you must ask when validating your business idea. So whether you're running a business before now or you're about to start any business, you must ask these questions. And then after answering those questions, then what will you now do? You now create your minimum viable product. Now, this is not the final product. It's a minimum viable product because you need to get feedback. I told you about Apple, right? The first iPhone, they got feedback. Oh, this has issues here. They repaired it. They solved the people. In fact, they are working on iOS 18 now. Why do you think they keep updating these things? Because people have created patches into those systems. They have broken them. So they have to update the software. They get feedback. Oh, this is not working. Oh, it's slow. It's this. So they keep reworking it. That's why the first business product that you may develop may not be the best. But if you're waiting for it to be the best, you will never do it. So you must have the right idea. After answering those questions, the next thing is creating a what? An MVP. What is MVP? Minimum viable product. This is what you give to people. Test it. Oh, I should sell it at 100,000 naira, but I'm going to sell it at X amount so they can give me feedback. Now, do you know that this masterclass that we're doing right now is a minimum viable product for me? Are you getting the picture now? It's a minimum viable product to what? To a larger cost. That's how you must think when you're creating solutions. If this can serve the purpose and solve a problem of somebody, then it makes sense I can now scale it. It doesn't make sense when you do something and not put money on adverts and then nobody is buying it. So you must do an MVP by answering all those questions we ask. What are the questions again? Is it feasible? Is it viable? Is it profitable? Is it scalable? And then is it the best option for the client? Okay. There's no business without strategy, right? I'm going to explain this in a very simple manner for us. What is strategy? We don't hear the word strategy and it looks so big. I'm going to break it down. What is strategy? Strategy is a series of integrated. Look at the word. The words there are deliberate. Series of integrated, deliberate choices you make, designed. So it is a series. It's not just one. It's a series of integrated, all interwoven into each other. Deliberate choices you make, designed to navigate through challenges, obstacles, and then steadily guide you towards long-term destination. Let me break it down. It's a series of integrated series. That means there are different aspects that will tie into the whole strategy. So the strategy for your business could be in the long term to be the number one in Africa, right? Or in West Africa or in the US. So all the decisions you're making is geared towards the bigger picture that you see of deliberate choices designed to navigate. You design it so that you can navigate through the challenges and obstacles in that business. And they're steadily guiding you towards your long term. So where are you going to? You're going for the long term. So as a business person, where are you aiming at? The long term. There's a short term, there's a mid term, medium term, there's a long term. But your aim is where? The long term. But every step, is it taking me towards the bigger picture? Does it make sense? This is how you think and start and grow a business. Making sense? Okay, let's talk about structure. Now, structure your business the right way from the get-go. See, there are things that many mistakes I have made when I started a business. Many people don't invest in structure. Remember I said the business is not about you. So you must, even if you're the only person in the business now, think structure, think systems. Is it going to be a business name? Is it going to be a limited liability? Is it going to be a PLC? Is it going to be a group of companies? You must think around that. Very, very important. So consider your internal and external business structures. Let me explain them for you. This is the whole business structure of a business. Number one is the why. The why. This is where you sit. You are the why of the business, right? You sit because you know why you had the idea. You know why you started the business. You sit there. Then you have the business structure, the customer structure, and then the product structure. Okay? Now, under the product structure, you must put in. See, in the beginning of your business, you may be the one doing all these things, right? When I started business some years ago, I had different emails of who will respond to an email, and I'm the one that will type it and respond as customer service. And I'll be the one to reply the mail as an engineer. But in my mind, I had systems in place. The chief officer, chief COO too will reply. I'm CEO. Then I will now criticize the COO's mail and override it as the CEO. Only one person. I didn't get it because I'm thinking in terms of structure. Okay, so you have the why, the business, right? The customer, and then the what? The product. The product is broken down into three. You have the R&D, research and development, because this is where you must keep evolving. You have the production, your distribution. You develop the idea, you produce it, right? And then you distribute. What's the use of producing an idea that without distribution? Okay. Then you have the customer structure. You know that there's a difference between marketing and sales, right? Marketing is the whole framework that involves awareness. Sales involves closing out. So you create awareness about your business. Oh, I'm into this and this. You create Facebook ads and all of those. That's marketing awareness. That after the person clicks on that link, or contacts you, that's where sales begins. Now, there are people that I've seen that start businesses, but they are not closers. They can't close. They can't close. So you must see the difference. Marketing, you have sales, then you have after sales. They can't close. Now, there are different categories of customers. Thank you for that question. There are different categories of customers that you deal with. There are customers that falls under I'm just going to use the Dix framework. The Dix framework talks about the personality type of people. You have the dominance, you have the influence, you have the stable, and you have the conscientious. These are the Dix framework. Now, when you are dealing with a dominant person, they make decisions on the go. If you're marketing to that person, you know that don't bother the person with too much information. He just wants the painkiller issue. Does it solve? These are my paper. Solve it. Now, if you go and you are talking too much, you lose the deal. You don't close. Now, when you are dealing with an I in marketing and in sales, when you are closing, an I is a talkative person. He likes to talk, he likes to engage. In fact, when you're marketing to an I, he will be marketing back to you, telling you the benefit of what you're selling to you. As a salesperson, what should you do? You listen. You don't overshadow him, because you have to allow him to feel free. This is another conversation. But I'm going deep into sales. And then after all this conversation, you must remember, sir, this is our take. After all our talk, because you guys will laugh and have a lot of fun, you think you have closed. Meanwhile, he has forgotten everything you have told him. You have to come back and say, recap. After our conversation, these are the pain points, and these are the points and the agenda and the next step. Kindly confirm by email what's the next step to take. So, understanding people, understanding when to stop selling. Very, very important. Understanding when to pressure, understanding when not to pressure. Very important. I've had a lot of situations where I had to close some sales. And when I call, I'm not even talking about you buying, just talking something else. And I just leave the call without even selling. They say, oh, your proposal, okay, bring it, we're starting tomorrow. Did I call for that? No, I'm just in your face. So there are different strategies around that. So you must understand the customer journey. And that's why in every business, you must design the customer journey. Before a customer would, in my own business, before a customer would say buy from you, there's a journey that I know the customers must go through. So when you see my videos on Facebook, on YouTube, that is marketing, that awareness. Right? And they will not buy immediately because I understand my customer. So what is your own customer journey? So that you can help the customer to go through that journey fast. When you understand the journey, you understand how to take decisions. You're able to help and fast track those decisions. Very, very important. Then after sales. Do you understand it now?
Yes. I understood it, but I want to ask you questions. When it comes to this marketing and everything, what you're trying to tell us now that we'll have to listen to the customer a bit so that to know where to enter into the business when it comes to what you have to offer them to pro.
Yes. You have to listen. And you have to know the type of person you're talking to. But you must be speaking from the pain point to the benefits you will derive. After you have done all that, there are people that are under the category of conscientious. Those ones, they need all the data available. So they will ask you, send me. In fact, if you're doing video editing or something for them, they will tell you to even give them the details of the camera and this you are using. Those guys are detailed. You give them detail, they tell you how many hours it will take per clip. They can go detailed, and you think they're just poke nosy. They take decisions from having lots of data available to them. So you must know the person you are. So it's another training we'll do where I'll tell you how to identify different people. When you know yourself and know how these people are, you'll be able to know how to interact with them. Make sense? So it plays a long role in designing and understanding these things. So you must know your customers, sales, marketing, and then after sales is the fulfillment part, where you give them the promise, you fulfill the promise. You have bought our products now. How are you enjoying it? How am I going to follow up? These are the framework. And then your business structure. Operations, admin, finance. There are a lot of them. You can outsource a lot of them. Okay? You can outsource a lot of them. Legal, HR, processing, IT, intelligence. Most businesses I know outsource. In fact, we just restructured our business and we're doing full business solutions for our clients. So we ask them to outsource their IT departments for us, all those things. So people outsource because the essence of running the business is to focus on the core. There's some things you don't need to do. There's the 80-20 principle, right? I'm sure you know the 80-20 principle. As a business person, you must know what it is. There are some things that are not moving the needle in your direction. You must know them. And then don't put much time to the things that don't move the needle in your direction. So what's the 80-20 principle? It talks about 80% of your customers gives you 20% results. And 20% of your customers give you 80% profits. So who are the 20%? Also for products, 20% of your product gives you 80% revenue. So if you identify the 20% among, let's say you have a product list of over 100 lists, right? Oh, no, let's even go 100 lists. That means 20%, 20 of those product lists gives you 80% revenue. So you must identify. In fact, when it comes to you as a CEO, as a business owner, 20% of your activities generates 80% of output. So what's your 80%? What's your 20%? So what are the things that you must outsource? There are some things that you are good at. This one is you. And it gives you 80. But you see people spending time on their 80. That will just give them only 20% into output. Okay, so you must have your this. This is a business structure. And this is how it works. The customer, you are sitting in the middle there, the business, the product, and then the why. So this is the whole structure of how your business must be structured. Your role there, stating how you must promote and sell your business. How you must communicate and manage. Cash flow, finances, build, self-develop, strategize. This is your role. Then your why. The why sits under the business structure itself. And then you sit in the middle, intersecting between the customer, the business, and the product. Does it make sense? Okay. Now, after you have developed your products and all that, then you must create a customer experience. What do your customers feel when they use your product? Do they feel bad? You know, there are people that you get some customers patronages, and that people buy things from you, and you yourself know they will never come back again because you gave them a bad experience. And every time you give one customer a good experience, you're getting 10 others. Referrals. I know a business that depends on your referrals. All of their earnings came from referrals. In fact, they have zero marketing budget because of the customer experience. So your customer experience must be very important. That's why you must own in your customer journey. Understand the customer journey. Understand how to make it better for them so that they keep coming back. Make sense? So this is how you should own your customer journey. Look at it here. The brand, right? The brand. You know the brand goes beyond logo, goes beyond company name and all of those, goes beyond websites. The brand is what people say about you when you're not there. That's where we are. So the brand. The brand. Then the brand leads to marketing, right? Marketing leads to sales, right? And then sales after sales. And after sales increases the brand. Because people say, oh, when I bought this product from this, oh, sweet things about you. That increases the customer experience. Let's talk about the brand a bit. How do you stand out? Hello, sir. How do you stand out from the crowd? That's a brand. One of my mentors will say that for him to stand out, he went for an occasion and he had to wear, he wore 2 shoes, of different shade of shoes. That he just said, in this location, I'm going to this location. No, I must stand out. And the people came to him and said, hello, sir. Why are you wearing different shoes? He said, oh, no, it's fashion. What? My name is that, and he introduced himself. You must find a way to stand out. Everybody may be doing everything, the same thing like you, but your brand, you see there are people that you can never be paid above your packaging, your brand. There's brand pricing. A sweet story was said about one man that they had a big ship and the ship had issues. So they called a specialist to repair the ship. And then they called the specialist. The specialist came to repair the ship and he just brought a hammer. And he just went somewhere and just... And then he said, your money is $20,000. And people said, for what? Is it for Gary? Is it for Ewa? and then he said that the hammer is just $1,000. But the intellect, the experience is 90,000. You can't price it. You must find a way to stand out. And it could be your exceptional service that just stands you out. It could be your depth of understanding of the customer itself that just stands you out. Okay? That's branding. So branding is not just about colors, logos, right? It's about your business personality and character. It's about the DNA of the business. It's about your values as a business. It's about your non-negotiables. Okay. So find and work with your ideal clients. And then let's talk about marketing as we try to wrap up. Marketing. This is where you niche down. Where should you niche down? In marketing. When you are solving the problem and thinking about the problem that will be market fit, what should don't niche down? But when you are marketing, you can niche down. That's why you see an Apple product being used by different people, right? This is the avatar now. The Apple product, they can look for an avatar and design a marketing that fits that avatar. Same one product. Look for another avatar, design a marketing that fits that avatar. Same products, okay? And then always remember the customer pain points and the customer benefits, because you use that to attract them to you. And then use those you have targeted and attract them to make money so that they can always buy from you. Make sense? I'll touch on sales in a few minutes. Okay. What is sales? Sales is the lifeblood of a business. You don't have a business if you can't sell. You have people say, I don't like to sell. I don't like to sell. You must sell. You must tell everybody about your business. What am I doing? Oh, my name is dash. Do you know how to introduce yourself? Do you have an elevator pitch? An elevator pitch. You must have it. For example, I introduce myself and I tell people, my name is Shino Salako. I help organizations to optimize their logistics operations through the use of technological tools that we offer. And I also help individuals and startups to start their businesses and grow it successfully through my coaching program. Capiche, right? So you must be able to, because sell. What are you selling? So the next question you ask me is, what technological products do you use? Oh, I tell you, we use telematics to help you. We use business intelligence. How do you help individuals? Oh, I do coaching program because I'm a Maxwell leadership coach. That's who I am. You must sell. You must sell. Very, very important. But if you have done your marketing correctly, the close should be a lot easier because you are speaking the language of the clients. Okay. After sales, we talked about that already. And then finance. This is very important. Let me give you a formula quickly as we try to wrap up. What's the formula? Let's talk about making your first 10 million. How many of us want to make 10 million this year? You can see some good reason.
Certainly not. It is not a big thing. I don't make it back.
This one is not speaking in tongues. Okay, so how do you make your first 10 million? Okay, should we make 1 million? Why are we taking small? You know, we talked about max mindset. Yes. Let's talk 10 million. Okay, this is a revenue table. And this is how you should think. See, when you're thinking about numbers and thinking about business, you think about what can I sell for X amount that will give me a profit of X. Now, there's no need, and I say it everywhere, there's no need to be in a market where the sizable market of that place, of that product is small. Number one, if you want to make 10 million, find one customer that'll buy all the 10 million and give you the 10 million. So what product do you have? Do you have something in your offer that can make somebody pay you 10 million? Number two, find 10 people that'll pay what? 1 million. Do you have that offer? Think around it. So this is how you should think. 100 people that'll pay 100,000. 1,000 people that'll pay 10,000. 10,000 that'll pay 1,000. 100,000 people that'll pay 100 people that'll pay 100,000, and 10 people that'll pay 1 million. So it's just numbers, right? It's just numbers. But it's not it's numbers to anybody else. But for you, you are looking for off-sells, you're looking for upsells, you're looking for reoccurring. So, do I have a reoccurring service in my business that guarantees constant retainership? So that I can use to plan. So if I don't sell anything at all, I have this retainership that maintains other costs. Remember, you need to take care of money too. You need to be a good money manager, because as a startup business, you must know and think around delayed gratification. It's not every money that comes into the business that you should take. And so you need to budget. Okay, setting up your business with the right financial, separate your personal accounts from business accounts. Make sure, I'm sure you know, Fidelis does that a lot. You see him sending money to, don't send to Fidelis, send to these accounts. It is discipline, even if it's 2 naira. It's the discipline in the long run. Separate. Even eventually you go and collect from that account. But create that culture. Okay. Let me rush this one quickly. So, leverage the right technology in your business, grow your business. Find a tech that works for this. Find a tech. What technology can I use to help my marketing? What technology can I use to help my sales? Right? What technology can I use to increase my operation? Always find a tech. Because what that tech does for you, it helps you work faster. This is very important. Please listen to this one. The systems. Let's talk about systems. What are systems? And what kind of system do you need to put in place as a business owner? And what's the difference between systems and processes? What's the SOP? You know when you hear SOP, what does SOP mean? Let me explain that. SOP in business means standard operating procedures. So you need as a business to have, especially when you start bringing people in, as you are running your business and you are acting in the capacity of the operations manager, detail how you do that work. That's the SOP you give the operations manager when he comes, eventually when you introduce and employ that person. So when you hear that some businesses are structured and systemized or systematized, right? That's what it means. They have systems in place because they have a way of doing things. Look at what system means. System means to what? To save yourself stress, time, and energy and money. That's what system means. So you see somebody replicate, systems helps you to replicate yourself across different locations. KFC, what do you think they have? Systems. You go to KFC in Canada, it's the same case of chicken you eat here that you eat there. Systems. So what system does is that it improves efficiency. How fast are you able to get things done? I don't need to come and sit with you every time and say this is what you should do. There's their SOPs, their systems in place that guarantees such. This is how you should think as a business person. So don't think for survival. Are you listening? Don't think that I want to make money and all those questions I started with in the beginning when I said, I'm going to make this, how am I paying my bills? If beyond that, if you're running a business for the long run, have this understanding of putting systems in place. For example, if you're running a photo shoot studio, these are my settings for this kind of picture. Settings, everything well documented. So the person that comes in, even with all of his skills and knowledge, this is how we do it here. This is what makes us stand out. So I don't need to come and tell you and say, hello, sir. The man is there. Just follow the procedure. You will produce the same result as I produced if I was the one doing it. Make sense? Okay. What are processes? Is to improve effectiveness. Whether the steps you are taking actually solves the problem. So you'll be improving your processes. Oh, we notice that we spend long time here. What if we reduce it by doing this and doing this? So systems bring efficiency, right? Processes bring what? Effectiveness. Systems helps you to do things fast, right? Processes helps you to make sure you are taking the right steps that solve the problem. So if your problem you're trying to solve is marketing problem for companies, you must have the right systems in place and you must have the right processes in place. And then the team, when I'm talking about team, it's beyond your staff. It's about understanding how to leverage people's time and skills. One of the things I discovered late in my business journey is the power of leadership. That's why you see I say it everywhere. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing else. I'm so passionate about the subject of leadership because I see the true essence of leadership in growing a business. I know in leadership we say the most difficult person to lead is you. And the culture of the business, truthfully, they take after you. So if you have bad attitude, bad behavior, everybody in your business will replicate it. That's what you pass to them. So you must understand how to leverage people's time and skills. And this mindset is not that you are using people. It's an exchange of value, mutual exchange of value. Okay, so when we talk about people, we're not talking about just your team member. We're talking about people that cross across your business, anyone you're going to interact with in your business. So people are a primary investment. So look at people here. Your stakeholders, in case you have stakeholders. You know your stakeholders, your suppliers are your stakeholders, right? Your contractors, your partners, your employees, your suppliers, your customers, all are stakeholders. You must manage them. Signs that you need to hire. Because you may be asking that question, when do I start bringing in people to the business? This is when you know. When you have decline new work. When you have to decline new work. Somebody brings a new project. I'm so busy right now. My table is full. As a business person, your table should not be full. Bring it on. Bring it on. That is a green light that you need to hire. Next one. When your team are overwhelmed and overworked, you need to hire. When the customer service and quality suffers due to capacity, and not just capacity, competence, you need to hire. In fact, one of the things I say is that when it comes to leading people, hire slowly, sack fast. And I'm telling you from my experiences, don't hire people because of emotions. Hire for competence. Hire for trainability. So when you're hiring people, don't say, this person is nice. Hire for competence. And hire people that are smarter than you. You know, I say that always that if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. I don't want to run a business where I'm the smartest. Sometimes I go for meetings and my team, I just sit down. What's the problem? They just come in and they will be the ones, just questions. So what would you have done? Why not this? I just ask questions and I'm there. And from those questions, that's the roadmap. That's the answer you need. So why am I here? We have solved it already. Hire people that are smarter than you. Hire for competence. When your revenue and growth stalls, what should you do? That's when you need to hire. And when your team working on less valuable tasks, you need to what? higher and replace them. Make sense? When you have talked about this, when there's lack of skill and competence available within your team. Hire. And if you want to deep dive into this, I have a full-fledged course for you that deals with every element of the business and how you can structure it, with worksheets and processes that you can put in place, with documentations that would help you fast track your process. This is why we're here. We're here to help businesses and individuals become the best versions of themselves, doing businesses that work, not just doing things that will not move the needle in their direction. So thank you very much. You employ for lack of what? Competence. You can't build all competence. That's the truth. You can't. We must look for people that have those competence and systemize the process. Make sense? So start by hiring for what? The gaps in your business function or the weakness. I cannot hire someone that comes into my business and he has the same strength like me. There's no advantage, or has the same weakness like me. What's the advantage? I'm hiring you because you are coming to bring something to the table. Make sense? And then once you are done, you test. This is what people don't do. They stop at MVP and they don't build on the MVP again. You must test. And the truth is that you fail. And that's why you must plan failure into your business structure. Okay? The trick is to plan failure into your business. Test, select a few metrics to track to see whether you're doing very well. And then you see small variations that makes an impact in those metrics and improve on those metrics. Okay, so when you're looking for to growth, use this framework that I mentioned now. Thank you very much. Any questions? I'll be glad to answer.